Okay. So this game came out in 1995. I thought it came out in 93. That might have actually been Ogre Battle. So this came out the year I was born. That's kind of crazy. Okay, options. Music. I'm gonna take music down to 70. Glass, Nipponji. I'll take English.
Tactics Ogre.
The resolution here is interesting. Is this because this is based off the PSP game? Okay, well, I'll base it off my birthday then. Three. In a fit of passion, you take your friend's lover. What do you do? So I take someone's girl. Put it from my mind, savor the moment. Man, if I'm just gonna be the bad guy, I might as well go all the way with it. Stars shoot from across the sky. For what do you wish? Happiness for myself, peace for the world. You know, I have a friend who's going through some crazy shit right now, so I'm gonna go with this one. What is God to? Okay, this is interesting. A weapon. I'm gonna go with an exemplar because illusion and weapon seem the least correct. In the final reckoning, who will prove false? My king, my beloved, my dearest friend. If I go by Sigma male YouTubers, it'd probably be like my beloved. I really can't count on my friends for shit. My friends would be the first guys to like see me having like a seizure or something and not understand what's happening until it's too late. But you know what? I'm gonna go with my king. Cause so I like those anti-authoritarian messages. What thing do you stand above all others? Well, I'm a broke motherfucker, so obviously it can't be that. Wisdom. I'm a midwit, so it can't be that. Beauty. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna pick the left all the time. Above average in terms of looks. Whose blessing do you seek? Okay, let's see. They're all goddesses. I'm gonna go with at this point it's like down to like the name I like the most. Okay, this is definitely a PSP game that's been like modified a little bit. The big indicator is when you're playing like a widescreen game that feels like a widescreen game. Like it's 16:9 with Dokuten. I mean, with the way it's panning it up and down, it's actually a little bit more than just 16:9. Oh, Hinata's voice actor, Jamieson Price. He also did like a Naruto character I'm familiar with. Let me actually check. Ben Diskin, Damon Mills, Keith Silverstein, that's like Kinimoto. Yeah, Ben Diskin, his name also sticks out to me.
It's as we heard, Denam. Lanselot's returned.
No auto advance? Let me tap some stuff.
Then it's time. Right, sister?
I joked before that he looks like someone who could be portrayed by Tom Holland.
Time to end this madness. We can't beat him, you know that.
And she looks like someone who could be performed by the actress for... Who's that other Marvel character? The one that plays Captain Marvel.
What are you saying, Catiua? You'd have us pass up a chance like this?
It's foolishness to think the three of us might defeat the Dark Knights.
They're the ones who have been foolish, and we stand to gain.
You see, I think the problem is I never actually said her name except for like one time in my life. Let me look it up. Well, first of all, let me look up Jamieson Price. And then followed by like Naruto. Okay. So he did that Arcade dude, Viscount Arcade guy from Persona. No, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm just checking 2005. So he does Tobirama. I had a feeling. Ben Diskin, that's number 1 from Codename Kids Next Door. And who else? Dame Mills. He's a very pretty dude, first off. He does Vyce Immaculate and FF7 Remake Intergrade. Does he voice any... Oh, no, this is the new Frieza. I remember. The one who replaced Chris Ayres. For like Kai onwards. Okay. And Captain Marvel. Let me look up. Yeah, Brie Larson. So that's what I meant. Okay. Trophy Guide. Tactics Ogre.
Don't tell me you're scared. If you've lost your taste for blood, I'll do this myself.
That's enough, Vyce. Let's go.
Let me tap again.
No, this won't end well. And what do we gain by taking their lives anyway?
Lanselot is captain of the Dark Knights, and they are the source of Bakram power.
You know what I just realized? Because the other dude... I was watching a Let's Player face off against Ultimecia, and it took him 40 minutes to beat her, but it really only took me like 10, 20 minutes. It didn't take me too long. But he wasn't actually that much stronger or weaker than my character. His playstyle was just way different.
Kill Lanselot, and you remove one of the pillars supporting them. The Bakram will falter, if only for a moment. Yet that moment will be all the encouragement the Gargistani
He was also
require.
probably a lot higher
Not
level
Valeria
than
for
me,
their own.
so Ultimecia had more health in her system.
The turmoil of the last war has only just settled. And you'd start another?
Are we Wallister so free of turmoil now, Catiua? We are less than vermin in their eyes.
So they're trying to go on site with some Dark Knights.
Insects to be crushed underfoot.
If war begins anew, we'll die just the same.
Shh, they're here. We'll flank them. Denam, go round behind.
Right.
Oh, hell no. There's rumbling. Usually that's the first thing I do when I check the settings, is I try to get the audio balance good and I get rid of the rumble feature. Okay, once battle begins, units with the lowest recovery time move first. Attack turn. To issue, place a cursor on the active unit and press X. You cannot not issue commands during turn.
Who goes there?
Friends of the Resistance, and no friends of yours.
The Resistance?
I expected a warmer welcome than this. They're children.
Wait.
Look at his
even
walk
know
like a
who we are?
motherfucker.
You're Lanselot, and that makes you my enemy.
Lanselot is my name, true. How is it that you know me?
How could I forget you? The Dark Knights laid torch to this town only a winter past.
The Dark Knights? But we come from the kingdom of New Xenobia to the east.
East.
And Lancelot of the Dark Knights has but one eye. You have two.
One eye, you say? Would that he lacked my name as well. His reputation, it seems, does me no favors.
So he's got one eye like he's Odin or some shit?
No marauding knights us, but mercenaries come looking for work.
I am Lanselot Hamilton, a holy knight of Xenobia.
So we were gonna on-site some dudes based off a rumor.
And I am Canopus, the one they name Windcaller. Our aged companion here is...
The Starseer, Warren Oman, at your service. Mirden Warhorn, a knight of Xenobia, as it please you.
His voice does not match his good looks, man.
Gildis is my name. There now, no need to be frightened.
This guy actually kind of matches.
I wasn't. I don't know what to say.
Forgive us, good knights. But perhaps this meeting might benefit us both. We have need of strength such as yours.
Ah, tell us your tale then. We are strangers in this land, and I would hear more of it.
Vyce is my name. It would seem that you are not our enemy.
I am the Sibyl Catiua, and this is my brother, Denam.
Okay, so I'm trying to go Chaos aligned here. It doesn't say anything about what you have to say. Am I gonna... See, I'm more likely to say number one, while also kind of gesturing her to, you know, stay focused up.
I'm Denam. Please, forgive our error.
Already forgotten. Though you did give us quite the surprise. Now, do you think we might talk somewhere out of this wretched heat?
We have just the place. It's not much, but it's secret, and it's safe. As it is, we lack swords enough to face the Gargistani. The Bakram share our deficit, a deficit they've remedied by joining forces with Lodis.
So Lodis sent them the Dark Knights Loslorian.
Loslorian is an order under the direct command of High Priest Sardian, ruler of Lodis. They are said to be the greatest of the 16 orders and the High Priest's favorite besides. Yet he uses them not in open battle, but in shadows and secrecy.
So what, they're basically like an intelligence division?
They are his ears and his dagger. They are as dark as their name.
And these Dark Knights, whatever you call them, are backing the Bakram, eh?
So, why are you come to our isles? Does Xenobia think to claim Valeria as her own? Do Lotus and Xenobia mean to bring their wars to our shores?
Enough, Vyce.
Your question deserves an answer. We are Xenobian, after all. Yet we do not serve as knights of Xenobia. We were banished, cast out.
We're outlaws. No place waiting for us back home, eh?
I've never heard... Actually, hold on. Because the net thing is very Japanese, and it actually comes from the Portuguese language. It just doesn't really make sense in its application right here.
We've come to find work, preferably of the well-paying variety.
It's kind of like, you know those people who end every question with right? Where they'll make a statement and then end it with that to kind of get you to mirror them a little bit.
I don't trust you, and I don't trust your story. This is our fight.
This guy reminds me a lot of Ryuji.
Vyce, please. Lord no.
That gap was way too long.
Forgive. Tell me, what will you do now?
For one, we have to get Duke Ronway out of Almorica.
Almorica, like Armorica village.
Duke Ronway. He is your leader.
Not just us. He leads all the Wallister. The Gargistani hold him captive in their castle. They plan to execute him, if the rumors are to be believed. And we mean to stop them.
A duke? But if his purse matches his title, a little rescue work might be just the thing. How about it, Lanselot?
Look, I'm sorry for not trusting you. It's true that if we're to rescue the Duke, we're going to need help.
Then there's nothing to be gained jabbering on here, eh? To Almorica Castle.
Wait. The castle is well defended. A fight there would mean our deaths. And yours, Lord Knight. And I've seen enough of fighting. Enough of death.
What about you, Denam? Would you have our aid?
You know what? I look at Denam and he seems like a guy who's down for the smoke, so...
Without your help, the Duke is as good as dead.
Ah, then it's settled. We will prepare at once.
Why do you not heed me, brother? I know how you must feel. But what of my feelings? I don't want to lose you. Our father is dead. A hard truth. But a truth all the same, in all the world. You are the only one, bound to me by blood. I couldn't bear to let you die. Forgive me. I know my words will not sway you. Only promise me. Promise you'll never leave your sister.
I do like siblings in JRPGs as like party members. It's too bad we never got like a Final Fantasy 13 where Lightning and Sarah would be like that. Trying to think. Final Fantasy 5 has the sibling party members. 4 has Palom and Porom. What else? There's like one that's really stuck in my head. Breath of Fire 4 with Cray and Nina has like a similar dynamic, but those are in-law siblings.
What's keeping you? Everyone's ready.
Suikoden 2, that was like the
You
big
can't call
standout
him
one.
forever. He's no little boy anymore.
Do not speak to me of my brother. He does not share your lust for blood.
I have no love for war, but I'd sooner die on my feet than on my knees.
Who does this guy think he is? Rock Lee?
You would die on the backs of others.
You were the one who brought them in here, Catiua.
Because when I find a tool well suited for a job, I use it. At least one of us has the sense to recognize an opportunity. You should thank me.
Is that how you see people? As tools? I'd have expected more of a Sybil.
I only want to see an end of death.
No, I never got to complete my review of 8, but it ain't really nothing but a thing. Okay, auto restock. So far I don't see anything I take issue with. Where's vibrations though? Okay, so I guess this is for people who play PS5, PS4 games on like a keyboard. Get that out of here. So I used to be really big into having vibration as a feature in video games. Like one of the reasons I didn't like the 6-axis controller from the original PS3 was it has no vibration. And that's one of the key things that made me choose the Wii over the PS3 initially. But nowadays, it's like, with controller drift, stick drift being a thing, vibrato is just the worst thing you can have for controller vibrations. DualShock 3, people talk so much about the DualShock 4, but DualShock 3, you would have button vibrato, and that just annoyed the living hell out of me. This castle was once the seat of power in Old Armorica. It was taken by Duke Ronway for the outbreak of war.
Hey, you're the rebels what been hiding out in Goliath. Here to save your Duke, is it? There's 2,000 Goth on that one's head, boys. Half the purse to him what brings him down.
Why is Goth a unit of currency? I gotta have a dental appointment tomorrow.
One pace across. Easily
Pretty paranoid about doing that in timely fashion.
But look before, nah. You can only jump to ground of the same height or lower.
So if I try to jump to a thing that's higher, I'll get like put downstream.
One of the winged, like me, moves with no heed of height or terrain. Even so, rushing in alone without someone to watch your back is asking for an early grave.
Okay, I'm getting
Always keep a close watch on the
flashbacks
action to see who will
to
move next.
Shining Force
Avoid
2.
unnecessary actions and keep speed on your side. The distance a unit moves and the actions it takes determine how long it must wait to move again. The order in which
That
units
it
act
pronoun
is
is
called
strange.
the attack turn. Keep a close eye on this. You can sort units by order of attack turn to quickly tell which unit will move next.
When a unit's turn comes round, you can command it to move, act, or use skills. What's more, you can issue these commands in any order you see fit. Think on your choice as well. The command to move can be cancelled at any time. If you find a unit out of range for a planned attack, try moving it to a different...
Units begin battle with no MP, that being the font of all magical power. Units accumulate MP gradually over time. Powerful magic requires greater amounts of MP, so think ahead before casting a spell.
So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something doesn't feel right. It feels like there were 8 enemies, but I only see 7 of them. Do I want to spread the floor? The bushes have anything interesting?
Skills are divided into 4 broad categories. Units learn skills as they gain levels, according to their class. That just now was Meditate, an auto skill. Auto skills will sometimes take effect before your turn comes around. Use this to your advantage. A conjurer of magics must do more than learn a spell to wield it in battle. You must assign each spell before you enter the fray. Assign spells to your units from the party screen. Be sure that you don't forget.
You'll need a class mark in order to change a unit's class. Some class marks can be found for sale in shops, but not all are to be had so easily.
Okay, that's an
A
interesting
unit's
thing about
level
class
doesn't
marks.
change when they change classes, so if one class isn't working out, a new line of work may be in order. There's no reason to go making things harder on yourself than they already are.
To use common consumables, such as Mendleaf in battle, you'll have to prepare before you're on the field. Up to 4 may be ready. Best choose them with your unit's needs in mind.
Take heed of the enemy's element before striking. There are 8 in all. Air, earth, lightning, water, fire, ice, light, and darkness. Each element has its strength. Air against earth and so on. It can be enough to give you the edge you need.
That and so on is not
Each
good
unit
enough.
has a level, but so does your party. Your party's level will rise as you lead them to victory in the stages to come. And remember, a unit can't advance beyond the level of the party.
One whisper of Ronway's execution and out you come, bold as you please. A rat can smell a trap, but not all rebels, huh? High time we were rid of your lot.
Support skills are just that. Skills that provide some passive benefit to the user. When I move, you'll notice yellow points of light near me on the ground. This is a support skill called Rampart Aura. Any foes entering the range of the aura will be unable to move further until their next turn. Some support skills hinder the enemy's movement, while others might grant enhanced strength. Consider well your class and lay of the battlefield when choosing which to use.
Trap, and we walked right into...
Trap or no, we fight or we die. I've never let a Gargistani get the better of me, and I don't mean to start today.
Focus, Vyce. Our first duty is to save the Duke.
Don't lecture me on duty. Your only duty is to stay alive.
You should not speak to Denam so. He was only trying to help.
Yeah, I'm already getting sick of their dynamic. You know what this is like? This is basically what happens when you got two boys and a girl in the family. They just don't really interact with each other without using the girl as the medium because of just how she integrates herself into the dynamic. That really drags out conversations. That's how it can be with my mom and my younger bro at times. Fuck.
Wait, you're no Walisters. I know a man from Lotus when I see one.
Big ass sack.
Are you all right, Denam? You shouldn't let Vyce get to you.
I'm fine, sister. Back to the battle.
Good thing you did that because he was getting his ass killed. That arc was like she was shooting a three-pointer. Okay, let's see. Carmen. No, she looks like Brie Larson. What am I talking about? I wonder what a tactics ogre like JRPG would be like. Not like an RTS, not like a tactics game, but like a standard fair turn-based game. If I recall, this is the last chapter of the Ogre Battle saga. It does that thing where it starts off in the middle, except Ogre Battle, the initial one was, I think, chapter 4 or 5, and then it goes straight to 6. What is the effect that it caused? Damn, that's a lot. It hits duro.
Looks like our luck has turned.
The cap is at free at the moment. Only units who survive battle receive EXP.
The way inside is clear. Stay on guard.
Leave the heavy lifting to us, Denam. Cover our flank. That's all we ask.
They seem to defer a lot of authority to Denam.
A fine time for this, with Master Nibeth away. Listen well. We faced the rogues who slew Bapal and his men. Underestimate them, and share Bapal's fate. Give these rebel swine a taste of Gargistani steel. Almorica shall never fall!
You know, Dust's favorite game is Final Fantasy Tactics. I should probably recommend this game to him, but he probably knows of its existence. So one of the reasons I was so interested in getting this game, besides having flirted with Matsuno games in the past, is that when I was getting carried in Final Fantasy XIV's final dungeon for A Realm Reborn, I made note that one of the designs for the characters looks like something out of either Vagrant Story or 12. And then the guy who was carrying me kept recommending me to try different Matsuno games, but I was like, yeah, I did Vigorous Sword, I did Tactics, I did 12. When he got me stumped was when he recommended Tactics Ogre, and that's not a game that I played, so I was like, you know, in honor of the guy who helped me get through Final Fantasy XIV, I wouldn't mind clearing that in his honor. I wonder if I can like throw a rock on my own homie. That would be toxic as hell, so... You know, I should have like equipped my guys.
Interlopers! Why do you meddle in our affairs? Our struggle with the Walister goes back generations. It's no concern of yours.
So what exactly is a Walister? Is it like a noble family, a village, a nation, an ethnic group?
Or do you seek to claim Valeria as Lodis does? I will have your answer.
We are men without a country. We have lent them our swords because it suits us to do so.
And we're looking for mercenary work, as it happens. Not hiring, by any chance.
And worry you'll leave for a bigger purse? We don't need outsiders to do our killing.
He makes a good point. Let's rescue this Duke, collect our reward, and be done with it.
The craven who would choose lucre over loyalty deserves only one reward.
Is lucre like another currency? Lightning reverse. Sound effects are satisfying as hell. Hitoshi Sakamoto is so raw here. I love when like composers like finally get to identify their sound. So their creative ideas are at their like most defined and least permutive and template like. See, I can't really give this guy a fair fight. No, I can't help but give someone back shots, so... I don't want to get boxed in, though. Because those guys could end up giving me back shots. So I'm going to hit him from the front, even though this is like not an advantageous move. 99%. No counterattack. They are coddling the hell out of him. I like how people just die and turn into like money bags. And then leave. Okay, so we got some healing items. So who can I hit? Suit of iron armor. Okay, so she's got that in her way. Okay. She has good range on that. Let me give you a back shot.
My life for Gargistan.
It looks kind of blurry when it zooms in like that. Makes me want a new prescription or something of that nature. Okay, so now we're all equals.
taste of freedom is sweet. You have my thanks. Sweeter still that Walister youths came to my aid. Denam, was it? Doubtless you and your friends are a gift from the Great Father himself. The Walister boon is great, and our future bright.
We are not alone in our loyalty. Upon word of your Grace's release, many Wallister have left their haunts for Almorica.
And there is still time before the Gargistani come to remedy my freedom. Though not long, I fear. We must regroup. Now I must ask if the tale our guests have told us is indeed the truth.
Upon my sword it is. We are outcasts from our land.
I do not doubt your sword. It is the whiskers of your companion that give me pause. I hear a diviner matching his description was ever at the side of King Tristan when your new Xenobia came into being 2 years past.
So, new Xenobia, that means that there's like a regime change? I'm guessing King Tristan is the guy who runs this new Xenobia with a diviner as his priest class, like elite advisor.
And that you, Sir Lanselot, were captain of the Holy Knights. Is the Saint King so brazen as to cast out the very men who placed him upon the throne?
I too have heard tell of this diviner, but I am not he.
Lodis plagues us with the Dark Knights, Lothlorien. How do we know that you are not some new menace visited upon Valeria?
Ah, man. That's one of those sneezes that like expands your blood vessels and makes you like taste everything that's in your sinus cavity.
If new Xenobia does not seek to usurp, I would have your proof.
Your Grace, these holy knights risked their own lives to win your freedom.
A man can claim knighthood only when he serves a worthy lord. It is for such a man that we seek.
So their ultimate goal is to become knights once again, or...
I have your word, and its proof shall be in your deed. You sought a reward. You shall have it. And employment besides. I would have you train our Wallister loyals as guards and soldiers here in Almorica.
As you wish.
That scooting animation. And, you know, moving the chair into the table.
Your father was an Abuna in Goliath.
I actually like that. That's polite. I was taught to do that in elementary school.
I met him myself once. A wise man, Abuna Prancet. What happened in Goliath was a tragedy.
Please, Your Grace. You must avenge our father. No, all the people of Goliath.
No, you must avenge your father.
Yet the enemy before us is Gargistan. They must, and for that, I will need knights. Knights such as yourselves. Will you join my table at Almorica?
Us? Knights?
As young heroes of Wallister, you will serve as a shining example to your clansmen.
I guess the Wallister are a clan.
I would have you become knights in my direct service.
Of course. I mean, as you wish, Your Grace. I know Denam's with me on this.
Excellent. Now, if you are to be a knightly order, you will require a name.
This is what they probably meant by keyboard. You know what I mean by that, if you ever saw the Sims video.
What do you think?
Yes, a fine name. You'll go far, I'm certain. I have much for you to do. Your first task takes you to the town of Chrysaro, to the southwest.
That dystopian ass, like, Chinese city structure.
The captain of my knights, Sir Leonar, has
It
gone
might
there in
actually be the
pursuit of the
future,
former overseer
considering
of
all
this
those
castle,
like
a necromancer named Nibeth.
cities that are going to be built in the future that are just one long apartment complex chained together.
Truth be told, he's having a harder time of it than was expected. You'll be going to Chrysaro to aid him. Understood? Now before you leave, you'll want to fill your ranks with soldiers from Almorica and purchase such gear as you'll require. I expect you have little in way of coin, so I'm giving you 30,000 goth from the treasury and a few of my own knights to serve under you.
You can count on us, Your Grace. We won't let you down.
Then may victory and glory await you, young heroes of Wallister.
You've led us to gainful employ after all. My thanks.
I mean, you guys are doing all the heavy lifting. Not that we weren't helpful in any way.
No, it is I who should thank you.
So, you're off to aid one of the Duke's men. I regret we cannot join you. Above all else, stay alive. Win or lose, while there's life, there's hope.
I'll try to remember that.
Best not forget, the dead get no second chances.
If death were our aim, there are swifter ways to go about it than soldiery. We fight to live.
True enough. Still, do not needlessly seek out danger. Enough will find you as it is.
Of course.
You are the heroes of Goliath, are you not? I must thank you for saving His Grace, the Duke.
Man, this is my 4th time farting on stream this session. I am not making a great case for myself, but this character has really interesting design. I mean, Akihiko Yoshida is an underrated character designer, and I really feel like his style was missing from Final Fantasy 16, but this lady in particular has such a strong Akihiko Yoshida aesthetic.
Indeed. Accept my thanks on behalf of us all.
The other is like Yoshida is still developing his style. He's not quite at near automata levels, or even tactics in Vagrant Story.
And you are?
Ravnus Luxarian, a knight in service of the Duke. I would ride to Leonar's aid myself, but His Grace has other need of me. I fear the task falls to you.
No need of fear, friend. We took back this castle, didn't we?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose.
And what manner would that be?
She and her fellow knights drew off the garrison defending the castle. Else, we would not have succeeded.
If it were not for the sacrifice of others, we would be no heroes of Goliath now.
Make no mistake, I have high hopes for you. We must unite the people behind us if we are to put an end to this endless war. Word of your heroics emboldens them.
Then you hold us up as heroes to serve some stratagem.
If you do not like it, give truth to the lie. Write your own fate on the battlefield.
May fate smile on us both, Dame Ravnus.
His Grace provided you with war funds, yes? Remember, they do no good sitting in your coffers. Arms, spells, provisions. Even a single magic ring can mean the difference between victory and defeat.
I guess the point is, don't be frugal.
I pray we are not near when she falls from such height.
Okay, I guess she's hating. Let's drink! It's too bad that dude never like uploaded that video to YouTube. It's such a great video. Okay, so let's see. He's got a hand axe, bronze helmet, leather armor, and buckler. I'm keeping him with that name. The dead pixels on my television make this character look like a man. Okay, short bow, bronze helm, leather. Does she remind me of anybody I know personally? I'll have to like look through my IG. Nah, I don't think I'll be doing much role playing. Jeffrey, he kind of just looks like what I would probably look like if I didn't take care of my beard. Sybil staff. I'm not being picky at all. Don't know if I can grow to regret that, but I like the wrinkles in her eyes. Well, that actually looks really attractive. Okay.
Welcome!
Okay, so what would I want?
Fair?
I don't care. For the last time, I don't want to start a new file. Eventually, I'm gonna have to have a new file, actually, because you can't just be reliant on one file for all of this game. Okay, there's two menus. Swords, short sword. Attack 41, buckler, leather armor, leather gloves, linen slops. Those are booty shorts. Azure necklace. So boosts strength by 5, vitality by 5. I don't know what that is. Resistance, luck 10, HP 10, defense 1.
Good day.
It's 2 pounds heavier. Alright, however you have that. Other sisters. Okay. Crimson necklace. On the first of God's skill, the Bakram Valerian Kingdom celebrated the 2nd anniversary of its founding. Festivities were held across time to mark the occasion. Regent Branton Loan announced plans to mend damage done to the Hanging Gardens in the war. Okay, so that's us. Okay, 18. My sideburns are going crazy. So his father was taken away by the Dark Knights. Taken away from him as in killed, or is he like imprisoned? His father was straight up slain. She looks like she has like a thick neckline here. Yeah, that seems to be the direction she has. How is that pronounced? Goliath? This guy looks great for 48. You must be deep in semen retention. Oh, okay, it mentions that. So he has triple our lifespan. So let me do the math in my head. Let me see. You take 48. Is that divisible by 3? Yes, it is. 16, 32. Yeah. Would he be 16, or does he just stay like in his prime for a longer time? So he's actually meant to look like an adult in his 20s or 30s. Early 30s. Okay, this guy is my age at the moment. Chalk and cheese. What is that in reference to? So I guess he has no riz whatsoever. Okay, he is a womanizer. Oh, this is your daddy. No, his father is Prancis, so... Feels like some of these characters are like spoilers. Okay, this is my alarm. Oh, I got a notification. I wonder, is this like a TikTok thing? Oh no, it's my friend. Yeah, I feel kind of guilty because I said that I was going to like take this time to get some sleep, and I never got sleep. I can feel it now because I'm super sleep deprived, but at the same time, in the hours where I could sleep, I was really only up for like 6 to 7 hours, so my brain didn't really have the adenosine content that would justify getting rest. So I'll check some of these things out later. A lot of people don't know about my like stream schedule, so they'll like message me on these type of days.
Take a look around.
Higher auction. Crossbow, short bow. Ooh, let's see. Still water, spark sphere. Okay, Rune Fencer, I see. I've never seen that term before, Cuddles. See. I'll give myself time to think about my deficiencies. What's this emoji she wants to send me? Okay, I'll just send her a hug. Him a hug, actually. Dude. My bad. Before entering battle, you must choose which units you wish to deploy. Units being sent into battle are called the battle party. Okay, well... You know what? I'll have you at mid-range.
Walister rebels? Here? Then Almorica has fallen for true. Reinforcements for their kinsmen we've pinned down in Chrysaro. Make peace with the light, Wallister swine! Today you die!
You looked a lonely lot. Thought I might join you. I am Canopus. Step forward and meet your fate, dogs!
Okay, so how do I want to go about this? I do want to spread the floor a bit.
This is a Wallister fight. We need no help from you.
Stubborn as ever, eh? How did one so young grow so thick of skull?
Thick? I'll give you thick.
Ow! Not the wings!
Vyce, control yourself.
Okay, I'll look that up later because that actually seems really clandestine. So I'm not doing a good job of spreading the floor. Speaking of which, how many enemies am I looking at? I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 adversaries. $56. Oh, you can get it out of isometric with the right stick. Shit, that's actually pretty useful. This feels ass backwards.
Where does it lead? What's the matter? Lose your nerve? Or has the nagging of your pacifist sister unmanned you? Always hiding behind her skirts.
Thick of skull and a bully besides.
That's enough squawking out of you, Birdman.
Better a bird than a brute.
Ugh. You're not men. You're children.
Yeah, this motherfucker is toxic as hell. I love him.
Let me tell you a thing or two about battle, Denam. Clear the wax from your ears and listen. The key is to divide and conquer. Whether you face a fearsome giant or a timid dormouse, that's the way it's done. Focus your attacks on one enemy at a time, and you'll emerge the victor.
It seems to be where this game is leading. Why can't I adjust the camera when it's the enemy's turn? I guess because it looks weird as hell. This is not really spreading the floor.
Denam, Sibyls and mages cannot withstand the withering attacks of the front lines. Keep us in the back. Be mindful of the enemy's position. Use a bird's eye.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed. I kind of spread them incorrectly. I'm gonna hit you with that step back. I'm not trying to get bunched up at the moment, but oh, okay, I got really unlucky there.
One more piece of advice, Denam. If you come across a blue card on the field, be sure to pick it up.
Oh, my battery is eviscerated. I mean, I haven't actually been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes. It's been more like 2 hours and 10 minutes because of Final Fantasy VIII.
These can provide a boon to aid you for the rest of the battle. Stronger attacks, more critical strikes, and the like. But a single unit can only benefit from 4 of these boons at once, so mind who you give them to. Oh, and keep away from the red cards. These will wipe out any boons you've already picked up. You might want to try knocking your enemies into those. Green cards raise a unit's core attributes. And the best part is, they keep the bonus even after the battle ends. Take a close look at each card before someone picks it up to gauge its effect. There are many kinds, and it doesn't pay to go wasting them on the wrong soldier.
Stay posted up. Okay, so I'm actually at like a heavy disadvantage. Let me do some step backs because I don't need to do anything anymore. Let's see. Alright, let me think about this a little bit. This is my guy Drake. Is this guy an op? Okay, X and X. What the fuck was that? I'm still in the range to get fucked up, then Spark Sphere, 256, Jacklet. Get all these Ardens I gotta fuck up. You know what, yeah, let me clear the field with you guys. See, my brain doesn't recognize these guys as like people I know yet. So if I see like a familiar face, it's like I'm completely confused. Alright, let's see. So I still got my full health up on. Okay, I'm slowly clearing out the field. I don't think we got like an Arden looking motherfucker in our party. Short bow. because I don't want that spell to be left out, even though it does less. I don't know if using the spell more causes it to raise in levels. Johannes. So, I kind of talked a little bit about the themes of Final Fantasy VIII and how I kind of liked how the romance was facilitating the theme rather than being the theme itself. But there's a couple of other things so I want to talk about, like the junctioning system and things of that nature. Because Final Fantasy VIII builds its systems around mitigating horizontal growth, which is the exact opposite thing that 10 and, to an extent, 13 do. Those games are all about horizontal growth. Instead, it's all about equipping magic, equipping guardian forces, verticality. So what it does is it creates a system where you can't really have it all. For the most part. But whatever you do have, there's a little bit of flexibility in said system. You know, I really liked it. Like, is it my ideal Final Fantasy? No, because there's no treasure chests. There's no, convenient ways of making money. You can't really, like, buy weapons, you upgrade weapons. And you have to deal with all of this, like, farming stuff in order to get that. And really the only weapon that matters is like selfies and squalls. But aside from that, like, I've seen criticism that the side characters are really just side characters and they don't have any kind of development whatsoever. And while that may be true, that's not really a problem because it is not an ensemble cast story, it's more of a character study. So you didn't really need to have like the whole cast be hyper developed.
To die. This.
I could have taken some time to like really grab things. get some extra swag. A lot of EXP. Don't mind if I do, so I guess he's gonna be a party member now. Spread the floor a little bit more. Have you... Well, Matsu was doing his thing with the music. Of course, just like 7, because of the newer setting, he's able to experiment with different genres. And boy, does he experiment. The setting is great.
Sleep, souls. Embrace the waiting everworld. Impossible! My exorcism has failed!
Towards the end, I couldn't really like enjoy the setting as much because it goes a little bit more out there, but that's in line with Nomura's aesthetic, which is start us off with the familiar and then ease us into fantasy. Like, once you get past Disc 2, all that stuff with SR and the lunar base, time compression, Ultimisia's castle, even the optional dungeons, Deep Sea Research Laboratory and Central Ruins, it stops Shumi Village to some of that 90s comfort core is gone.
Perhaps the corpses must be still before the soul can be
The interior design of Shumi Village might keep it intact, but that's about it. Aside from that, in terms of remaking the game, it doesn't have that much optional like content in terms of dungeons. There's 2 side quest dungeons. Outside of Ultimisia's dungeon, which has a lot of optional enemies, so you can unlock all of the features you would need to beat her. There's basically 6 or 7 optional bosses. There's 2 fights you have with the brothers. The 2 boss fights in Central Ruins, 2 in Deep Sea Research. The Catiua King. You gotta use an easy bake oven for Doom Train, and so that's not a boss fight. Let me think. There's like another one that you could get. Yeah, but the Catiua King is basically a green ruby weapon.
I've forgotten much in the quarter century that's passed since I last faced the undead. But listen to me, making excuses. Wait for me, Leonar. All I need do is hold out till reinforcements arrive. There! Our liberators! Great Father, smile upon us this day.
Perhaps he merely bares his teeth at you, old man. The sleep has already taken your friends. And no common sleep. They descend the sepulchral stairs toward death. When they wake, it will be as unliving horrors. We only need hold until Master Nybeth's return. Give them not an inch, and show them no quarter.
Necro-apprentice, so they don't even have the decency to call her a necromancer. Necro-mistress. She's the necro-intern. I realize. Do you not recover to full at the end of every battle, or? Because I don't understand like how MP works. Just gotta... There's a lot of enemies on the field with this one. Oh, they are fucking him. Did like a little easy step back. We draw attrition away. Plus physical act. Whoo! Oh shit, that crits really hit that critters. Okay, so she's getting on the offensive. Well, that's a good idea. Nice one. So what happens? After a while, they just come back to life? I'm curious if that'll help me draw hate. It better not be like a crit. Okay, plus magic is actually pretty bad. Whew. Heal. Yeah, you got fucked up, so let me... Okay, so he can exercise the dead, meaning that they won't come back. Turn the asses into a tarot card. Spread the floor out a little bit more. I'm gonna spread the floor out a lot more, actually. Okay. That wasn't very big-brained of me. I could heal him, but I think I actually hit my own party member with that one. The blues are tripping me up. Oh. I'm having judgment lapses.
Master Nybeth.
Okay, is this the cleric lady? Oh, it's that wall. I got caught with that again. Okay, let's see. Did someone leave their cell phone at home? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I remember this encounter actually. Okay, heal. Who's the most deserving of a heal at the moment? I like the visual effect of this one. Guess that's like a fat asshole on my part. To the dome, you'd have to raise the shield up to the heavens. Which isn't like an impossibility, it's just a way to get around standard defense. They're not used to like moving a certain way, they're not going to move a certain way. Where is... Oh damn, he sucked me up. Let me give you some back shots. Would that connect on him though? Okay, so that's like another L. As long as it's not a free heal, I don't really care.
Master Nibeth, even in death would I have served you.
Man, after a while, I didn't say shit. I guess if I want to talk about Final Fantasy VIII some more, the art style was one thing that caught my attention. Obviously, things I like looking back to. I'm not a big fan of how the remasters changed the designs to be more Dissidia-like. But ironically, that made the designs also a lot closer to Nomura's Kingdom Hearts style, rather than the photo booth sketch style that was part of like the original designs. Still part of the illustrations as well. The UI design I'm not a big fan of. Like the color gradient is okay, but just how it's only gray, like there's no blue feature like Final Fantasy IX. That's whack.
And my apologies to you, Abuna. Such is our reward for striking blind.
Like the pre-rendered backgrounds, as usual, look really good. They're not as diorama-like because character models are full scale, and also the composition is a little different. It feels a lot less like you're an omnipotent watcher from above, like a Lovecraftian entity, great one, seeing the action, as much as it feels like you're watching from like a video camera. Security footage.
Already I've lost too many of the Duke's men. I know not how I shall face him.
I am thankful that you, at least, still live. The Great Father favors
Okay,
us.
that's Jamieson Price right there.
As he is surely displeased by the trespasses of this Nibeth, the sorcerer of the foulest sort.
Yes, Nibeth. He lies hidden in a rotting fastness beyond the town. Odd. With his men left at Almorica, I'd have thought him bound for Carithnai. Or could he be scheming?
I want his head, whatever it may be plotting. I will not return to the Duke empty-handed.
You mean to take the fastness with these numbers? Should we not withdraw and regroup?
Were it only myself and the remnants of my men, I would find retreat more palatable. But do not forget our new allies.
I have not. Yet be mindful of the Gargistani threat. Why, they might attack Almorica at any moment.
As I see it, we would not have the luxury of choice were it not for the heroes of Goliath.
Yes, yes, of course. Advance or retreat. The decision is rightfully Denam's.
Voltaire, Sarah, I know you'll not object.
Then it's settled. We are yours to command.
Yeah, they just handed 480 to Denam pretty freely. I'm just gonna call him Denam like he's a pattern on her shirt. You know what? Let me look at my guide. Well, I actually prefer the old designs. Like I like River Phoenix Squall and the old school Asian haircut that Renoa has when she kind of had that Onryo look. I actually don't really mind. I don't really like the Hime cut she has. And I don't like Squall's new K-pop look. The little shades of Sasuke. Let me look at the chapter structure in this game. So this game has like 4 chapters only. I had no idea. I'm checking all of this out. Yeah, I gotta turn my phone off. I don't like doing that because when I turn it on, the battery actually drains pretty quickly, and it does this whole annoying process of starting these like data intensive procedures. You know what? Yeah, Voltaire. But there is a trade-off because the designs got worse with the remasters, redesigns, but the art style got better in a way because aside from the over-sketching line work, original FF8 was less anime. Like, it was really like only the eyes and details of the hair where you can like see the line work and tell, okay, this is someone who learned how to draw from like a Japanese school of thought. But that was about it. Visually, Final Fantasy VIII does not excite me the way that 7 did in terms of battles. The cinematography in battles in Final Fantasy VII, like all you need to do is look at a mod that puts like a Final Fantasy VIII boss in 7 and you'll realize how much more exciting the battles are in 7. The camera does most of the storytelling. You know, in spite of that, like 8's combat system is really fun. Like outside of junctioning, which is verticality and building a system around that. Actual battles, because of the limit breaks and things of that nature, it really adds like a layer of depth with the ATB system that lets you know, the strength of 8 actually just comes from, or any of these PS1 games, the turn-based side of the ATB and how you can manipulate turn order and turn priority. Like, if you don't understand that, you're gonna be one of these moving goalpost dudes that say, you know what, Final Fantasy hasn't been turn-based since 3, with the exception of 10. Free is like the last turn-based game that went forward to 9 with ATB, and then you had 10 that kind of had the CTB. But when you understand how to manipulate turn priority, you realize, no, it's very much a turn-based system where you can manipulate the turns to your favor, and limit breaks are a vehicle to do that. With 9, it's more so waiting until everyone's gauge fills up and doing all their abilities at once to prevent the boss you're fighting from refreshing their ATB and getting top priority at once. So it will automatically refresh to the top, but it won't take top priority so long as you have them all act at once. So there's like an element of prudence and knowing where everything is mapped to the combat system to 9, but 8 has that with the ATB priority better than even 7, because limit breaks, which always take priority, they just, you just need to have aura. You just need to like triangle cancel, menu cancel, or have someone just permanently have low health, and you're there. You can just keep kicking ass. And the way bosses are balanced, it's like a Final Fantasy X situation where you don't really need to build up your characters to steadily high levels. There's a point where you have to get them stronger and move up in that sense. But early on, it really doesn't matter all too much. You can basically be as bare as possible and focus on other things that really matter, like your toolkit, and you'll be good. 10 was like that, but 10 was all horizontal, so you were focusing a lot of stats that really just didn't matter when you were building stats, aside from HP. And that kind of sucks, because with 8, it's like I'm dumping 20, 30, 40 points into strength and clearing out boss fights like that much more easily. And as a result, I get an experience that suits my taste. It's tailor-made for my brute force approach that I've spoken about 9 years in the past. I can really just go meat-headed with it. Renzo Kukin, Armageddon Fist, all of those things really eviscerate bosses. Even the super boss didn't really like stand a chance against me, so I enjoyed that aspect. And that really only works because of the ATB system when it's not trying to be 100% real time like 12 and 13 and even 10-2, but when 10-2 shows that it's not fully real time all the time, that's when 10-2's combat system starts to show its flaws as well. Because everything slows to a crawl and you get frame trapped with some of the most unfair attacks in that game. What else did I really like about it? The mini games weren't as plentiful as 7, and they weren't as esoteric, but I am thinking about that. There's not that many side quests in 7. I mean 8. Like, there's some little things like the crush side quest I never bothered to do, the chocobo thing that I only messed with one time. That was because I had to. For Disc 4, I didn't start the second half of the Shumi Village side quest that would have gotten me another status guard. I didn't bother with Queen of Cards because the ATB in Final Fantasy VIII Remastered is actually really bad. That's another thing, the font change I didn't really like. Because I looked at the old font, the blurry font, it fit Final Fantasy VIII. It's not that big of a deal. There's some situations where I like it more, given that this is, it suits modern screens more. But there's like an untapped aesthetic to pixelated fonts. And there's a reason that was like the biggest thing people took issue with the pixel remasters of 1 through 6. There's a comfiness to pixelated fonts that kind of got fucked over. Triple Triad is a great game. I like Tetramaster. I'm not one of those Tetramaster haters, but Triple Triad with its simplicity is pretty fun, but yeah, you don't gotta do all the side quests. I don't feel compelled to do all the side quests. I pretty much did as much content as I would have liked to do, as fully as I'd like to do. It would have been nice if the RNG wasn't so fixed for so many things. They should have fixed it to be what it was before, because sometimes RNG would be on a pattern that I really don't like, and this game doesn't really do soft resets as well as some of the other games to break that apart, so I have to get a little convoluted with it. And the encounter rate is terrible in Final Fantasy VIII. And that's not like a design flaw. They didn't do that deliberately. There was like a mistake made there. Especially in places where they wanted you to have a high encounter rate. Now it's like overly high because of that error. I already took issue with 10's encounter rate, which is exacerbated by the fact that Tita's stride in that 3D space really makes it so that the 2 or 3 steps you take doesn't feel like you're making real progress with how maps are designed. But 8, it has it in spades. Like, 8 and 10 are annoying encounter rate games. The world map structure is kind of annoying. Like, this free early on, trying to get to the White Seed ship, it tells you it's like around the Centra continent, but I'm thinking the Estar continent is the Centra continent. That's a pain in the ass. But I still kind of have it at that same tier as 7 because it has the epic moving story. It has a lot of 7's strengths, but it's a little diluted because they had the internal monologues, so they didn't trust the audience this time around to, go crazy with it. And evidently they didn't trust it enough after that, because then they went with like a narrator in medias res with 10 and 13 onwards. So they want you to not just see it from the position of what the person's thinking, but what the person's thinking, fully meditated, fully conscious, fully in hindsight. Not just things that are subconscious and non-verbalized being withheld as well. Like, I'm trying to imagine how a Final Fantasy VIII remake would be, and the only thing that really comes into my head is it would be easier than a Final Fantasy VII remake, as you can see, because there's a lot less optional content that you would have to make. But there's so much in the main content that you would make, and if you treat it with the same pacing as the original, which they won't do, then you're going to be left with creating this whole complex area where you only do 5 to 8 minutes of content in there and never go back there again. Trabia Garden, Windhill, Timber to a lesser extent. So many of the places in the Estar region, White Seed shit, like, these are one-time only places that you go to, you engage with things, and it's only for a couple seconds, if not a couple minutes, and you never go there again. That is wasteful for modern game design. So if it ever gets remade, they're going to really expand on that side, which is the only reason why I don't think it'll be done in one part. I think they delegated to 2 parts, and it might not be the clean part 1 ends at Adea, Disc 2, part 2 ends with the actual end of the game thing. They might have to add some new storyline stuff to give it a self-contained breakpoint. Because of all that stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised. Everything, this is an issue I kind of have with 7 and 8, not just the world maps and how like civilization seems to be only in like 1 continent and 2 with asterisks. Which 8 doesn't really have this problem because 2 of the continents have stuff in them, so it's not just like a 1.5 situation. And then you got the island of Balam, that's most definitely civilized. It has the town of Balam and a whole like college town structure, college county structure to it, with the exam area and Balam Garden itself, not just the town. But 8 and 9 both have the issue of feeling like their story was structured around like a chain of Midgar sections. Final Fantasy 8 that has that especially, where Disc 1 feels like the Midgar section in terms of length, and then Disc 2 feels like a smaller Midgar section, and Disc 3 feels like a even teensier Midgar section, one that maybe ends in like Wall Market. I would say maybe flip that around, because Disc 2 in some ways is even longer than Disc 1, but the point still remains that it feels like a chain of set pieces. Even when you have access to the world map, you have access to the world map off the jump, which you can't really say about 7, but unlike 8 and 9, 7 doesn't just feel like a string of Midgar sections and then you're in the last 2 dungeons of the game. It actually has a little bit of substance to it. I don't like the fact that 8, you take away the ability to name your characters outside the Guardian Forces, Squall and Renoa. I understand why they did it, which is they didn't want you to do role-playing with some of the other character names that you would regret, given the fact that Squall actually has an OTP, unlike Cloud. So, you know, you name Quistis your girl, that might be a problem. You name Selphie your girl, that might be a problem if you're trying to do some waifu wars things. That's not happening, boo. Laguna vignettes, I mean, those are a little bit of a pain in the ass because of all the re-equipping that you have to do, all the re-junctioning and exchanges. But I could see how someone enjoys the change of pace. To me, I can tell what Nojima was thinking with Laguna, which is he was trying to get his headcanon version of Zack through Laguna, but he wanted to expand Laguna's thing to an entire campaign instead of 5 vignettes, and it couldn't happen. So a lot of things were created for Laguna's route that didn't end up manifesting, and would have probably made 8's world feel like a cohesive world the way 7 does. But all these things that I'm talking about, and you know, it's still the second best Final Fantasy in my eyes, because everything I look for in a standard fare RPG, except for horizontal growth and treasure chests and a normal way to get weaponry, because the junctioning replaces the stuff weapons and army or serve as vertical growth. All of that would have been really nice. Better RNG in the remastered versions. And you know, you might look at a contender for something that could rival 7, but it doesn't rival 7. It surpasses 10 in my eyes because, you know, 10, you play that game multiple times over and it gets kind of rough having to deal with the non-skippable cutscenes, encounter rate, having to do all those battles, even though it's much better paced than 13, because it's just 2 screens, a lot of these dungeons. It can still take a toll on you, especially when you're using the sphere grid and you're barely getting anything in the earlier stages. You have to do that post-game stuff. I mean, setting up for Penance is a pain in the ass. The encounter is fun itself because you have no room for error in this long stamina fight, in this endurance battle. So it's stressful, but also not as tight as you would think. But with fucking Omega Weapon, you can't really hyper optimize for that dude. And you don't have to. The stuff I needed to be built for Omega Weapon was practically handed to me. I didn't have to go full on tri-ace, refining all sorts of things. I mean, I did it just so I can get Zell to have lightning fast speed or actually Squall. And I wanted to get Selphie to have that advantage. That would have been really helpful in a lot of encounters. But actually her with initiative and what she had, since she's more of a defensive character, is better, since I want her with that initial oomph in case something goes wrong. And something did go wrong in that final boss fight. I almost got a game over because she did a really powerful group spell, and Selphie kind of was there just in time to make sure that wasn't a game over and to fully revive everybody. So that was an exciting final boss fight, even though it was a complete squash. And yeah, I mean, I clearly had a really good time, even though that was a game that I didn't want to like do absolutely everything. I told you guys that I had this interesting build in mind, that I wanted to go over a few talking points, and I mostly got to accomplish it. I got to give you guys the Final Fantasy VIII experience that is more or less what I would have wanted. Going forward, like if I want to play this game for someone else to show them the Final Fantasy VIII experience, I would do things a bit differently. But a lot of that is like early game oriented. This was pretty good. This was a LP I was a little proud of. I didn't go as in-depth verbally with the things I liked about 8 as much as I wanted to. I think I kind of gave my opinion on the composition of the game and a lot of those elements early on, and then towards the end as things were getting kind of spoilery, I let you guys know a little bit about what I was thinking about things, but I kept my cards to my chest. Because so much of that game is backloaded. I talk about the romance, but like the antagonist of Ultimecia, her relationship, her similarities to Squall, I should say. How they're both people that are like rejecting the world because they don't want to be wounded. I can see how someone will look at the Renoa's Ultimecia theory, because in this case, their flaws kind of put them closer to each other as a source of conflict. Because they both bring themselves into trouble the same exact way, treating themselves as islands when no man is an island, and fucking Renoa, he has to break out of that in order to get with her. But as you can tell, the similarities is that it's all tied to Squall's arc, the theme of that story, destiny. Because it all worked out in the end. Guna didn't get with Alone, and not Alone. That's the adoptive daughter. I mean, Leon. I don't remember her name. And she got with Calloway instead and wrote Eyes on Me. But, you know, their kids ended up together, and he ended up finding Rain, who he was head over heels with in a completely different way, and that's why he was so over it. It was like, you know, I had my crush, but I love this woman. I want to live my life with this woman. But I gotta think about it, because when you look at like 15 was also a Final Fantasy set in a modern world. But unlike 7 and fucking 8, it's, you know, a modern world in the stuck era, not like the 90s. So smartphones, gacha gaming. Because it's a little country, you get to see some things that you might not see if you're like a city dude, that you would think, oh, okay, this stuff is outdated. But it's not outdated if you're in a more remote area, especially in a society that has to watch out for demons at night. the way you would have to watch out for coyotes, raccoons, and skunks and shit at night. Giant feral hogs that you need heavy rounds to get rid of. These type of things. That time frame doesn't really stick with me, at least not the way that 15 presents it. Me driving around a cul-de-sac is not gonna do it for me. I will say that if 15 did what 7 Rebirth did and kind of had more of a open world map, as opposed to it being structured where the open world is a cul-de-sac for Lucis. If it embodied the entire globe and the way you navigated it accounted for that, and it was more convenient, it would have been a different beast. I would have probably enjoyed the exploration aspect of that. But without that, it's just this one continent, and you kind of drive the cul-de-sac, the interstate. I didn't like it. I didn't believe in it. I don't know, but that's the only thing I really got to do with the original 1 through 10 set of Final Fantasies, the Final Fantasies when Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy, is play some 7. Not just a celebration special, but actually choosing to hit the sticks and play some 7. Now I know that Rebirth is coming out 29th, which is actually a Thursday, so if I do the math a little, then that means 21. OG is going to fall on a Wednesday. OG released on January 31st. It's also the date my great grandmother passed away. So when I think about that date, I'm not going to stream a Wednesday to do another celebration special, but maybe I'll do a belated celebration special February if I'm back in the city by then. I believe I'll probably be back in the city by then. That's about it. I mean, I complain about all these things, but these complaints about 8 are more so, here's all the things that I look to with 8 comprehensively because I'm so into 8, because I harbor a similar love for 8 that I would with 7. It's what I would want out of my 90s RPG, but with some things missing. 7 doesn't have any of those, which is why it stays on the top. Obviously, give 10 a world map and it might actually climb up the ranks, especially if you can do something about the encounter rates and give it some verticality. But it's not built around that. The post game of 10, because I was talking about what you have to do to build a post game in 8. You have to do the most. I mean, I had to do 2 seasons of Blitzball. It was ridiculous. 4 seasons practically. All of this just for attack reels and a sigil. I mean, I had to have a spreadsheet and kill the same enemies over and over again just so I can build up my stats. it was hellacious, but I did it for 10 and I enjoyed it. I got to commentate and give my thoughts on 10, and my thoughts have evolved since then because I was trying to flesh out why I think a 10 free would be beneficial, speaking about like the setting of Spira and the nature of summoners as exorcists and how you would need a structure around the necessity for an exorcist, even if they're called summoners and they can't really summon anything. They can beckon now, but forget that shit. 9 with all of its flaws. Like, it's hard for me to speak about these games in a vacuum because it's also me explaining why it is that my preferences and my rankings are the way that they are. So all of that is kind of together. I'll talk a little bit about this game for a moment. Because there's actually some things that I do want to say. First off, I'm glad I got to hit the sticks and stream this game on a September. It is the last September that I will stream this game on, because I don't think I'll do a Saturday stream for this game. I think I'm gonna head straight to like Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. 2023 was so on rails for me when it came to live streams. I mean, I took a detour for Ape Escape and Toy Story. I took a detour for Final Fantasy IX just to get the plat on that. I took a detour for God of War Ragnarok, which, ew. But you know, it came with the PlayStation 5. So I took many detours, and now like there's not really anything major for me to hit the sticks on. There's no major undertakings after this. I'm effectively free. I do want to do Intermission, get that out the way so I can have a save for Intergrade and fight Vyce. I know he's pronounced Wyce, but I prefer German pronunciations. I like to be inclusive to every language with English. I believe English will one day encompass every language perfectly, and that's what I seek. To treat it as a Creole with respect to the world of human verbalizations. So I want to be able to do all of that before getting to Rebirth. Maybe Astro's Playworld is also something I want to try out. But that's just for like the easy plat. I might reserve that because of some commitments I have to other people. But you know, I can do that anytime, and it's not really that big of a deal. This is it, really. This is really like the last hurdle of 2023, and my mom told me that I kept saying that, you know, I'm clearing things faster than I expected. That's been a regular pattern. If I haven't gotten through some of these things as quickly as I anticipated, we'd still be in Trails into Reverie by this point. Like, in the meat of Trails into Reverie. 8 was a detour too. Let me not forget that. Let me not be in a state of erasure. But also consider the fact that because I cleared things early, I could have time delegated to trying out other different things. Things that I like as well. Things that I know I'd like if I gave them a chance. And some things I just really didn't like. I didn't like some aspects of Toy Story 2. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. Specifically the camera. Everything else, besides the audio loops, is pretty good. And I didn't really like God of War Ragnarok aside from the story. The story was great. The character designs were great. It was a very beautiful game that was poorly paced with poorly thought out gameplay. You know, this is a journey. I'm hoping that when I eventually get out the city and come back, that I can do so and be ready for 2024, which a lot of what I was expecting in 2023 ended up manifesting that year. 7 Rebirth, Ayuden Chronicles, the Suikoden Collection. There's that. There's Persona 3 Remake. There's Saga, Emerald, Expanse or whatever. It's ridiculous. Like, now we got Trails Through Daybreak. I can't say Kuro no Kiseki anymore. That's a lot, man. It's a lot. I have to make some compromises. I'm not going to be able to do all of that in a year. I'd be spending a fortune that would be better spent with like dental things and other responsibilities invested on, other expenses handled. But, you know, I just feel like, you know, enjoying the victory lap, especially because I get to enjoy this game. This game is pretty fun so far. I mean, it's still undercooked. They're kind of easing us into the game. But you know damn well this game is gonna kick my ass. Get me frustrated because it's a Matsuno game, and you know, it's like what that GameFAQs review said about Vagrant Story, an RPG for Anorax. So, till then, this has been your boy, Mr. Wonka 7. Thank you guys for watching, and suck my dick.